it's Dr. Toya here, and welcome to the By Default Highlight Reel, where we highlight our business owners by bringing you videos and interviews so that they can tell their stories in their own words. Please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more episodes. I hope you enjoy. Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Toya here, and I am joined by Kadidja Dosso, the founder and CEO of Dosso Beauty. Welcome, Kadidja.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here and excited to share this space.
Yes, I'm excited to have you. Thank you so much. So before we get into your brand, please tell our viewers a little bit more about you.
All right, guys. So my name is Kadidja Dosso. As she mentioned, I am the CEO and founder of Dosso Beauty. We are an e-commerce organic beauty supply company that we have a website. We're hosting on Walmart, Amazon, and GoPuff as of February. So super excited to have the placement. Was born and raised in West Philadelphia, went to Hampton University for undergrad, and then I moved to New York, lived in New York for about 4 years, and now I am back in Philly in my hometown and super excited to continue to expand Dosso Beauty and really just take over the market.
Yes, love it. Yes. So tell me a little bit more about how you got started with Dosso Beauty.
Absolutely. So Dosso Beauty really started when I was a little girl, really initially started when I was 3 years old. So it started when I was 3 because myself, my mom, and my grandma had this long drawn out argument about what was a braid versus a twist. So I was doing a twist and they were trying to teach me how to braid. Once they finally taught me how to braid, I was braiding everything. Every rug that had shaggies on it in the house, I was trying to braid the blinds, like everything. So from that moment on, I really fell in love with beautifying things and making things look beautiful. And also like the feeling that it gave the other person. And so when I was 10 years old, my mom allowed me to finally braid my hair. So I'm in my 5th grade picture and I got my cornrows that I did myself. And I'm super excited. And when my teacher asked me what it is that I wanted to be when I grow up, I said, I want to own an organic beauty empire. And that really came out of, the mouth of babes as a 10-year-old, right? So I had been studying Madam C.J. Walker and fell in love and was obsessed with the fact that she was one of the first self-made women millionaires. And I just knew that, her love for hair care and my love for organic hair care specifically was so important, and it can really be something that was life-changing. And eventually, years down the line, after I graduated from Hampton, I started working as a management consultant in New York. And one day, for a few months, actually, I was on something called the bench, which means that basically you're not assigned to a project. Okay. So I kind of felt like very idle and like I wasn't fulfilling my full purpose. And I just decided that I needed to start Dosso Beauty because it was a part of my destiny. And if I wasn't going to start it then, I don't know when I would have started.
Right. Oh, you said so many things that I want to get into. So tell me more about the background of when you were coming up through Hampton and things like that, because it's one thing if you're on the bench and you say, okay, I'm going to start this, but did you have more background doing hair and providing products when you were coming up?
Yeah. So since the day when I was 10 years old and I went to school with my braids and my friends were like, oh my gosh, who did your braids? And I was like, me, and it's funny because I have a picture lingering around here somewhere. And now that I look at it, I'm like, Mom, why did you let me go to school like that? But, she wanted to empower me. And from that moment on in middle school, I actually started braiding hair in middle school.
Nice.
And my grandfather, he was an entrepreneur. So he migrated from South Carolina to Philadelphia. My father is an entrepreneur, migrated from West Africa to America to really build their own book of businesses. So I always grew up around this entrepreneurial mindset. Yeah. And so for me, I started to look at, yes, I love the fact that I'm doing hair and that I'm helping my friends and myself to look beautiful and feel great about ourselves and have confidence. But where the generational wealth comes into play and where the real money resides is within the product base of the business, right? And so when I started to go into different beauty supply stores with my mom as a kid, and I noticed that there were all these warning labels on all the products that were there that we, know and loved and have always bought, for me, it was really oh my gosh, why aren't there any products that have ingredients that I know and understand that I can find in my kitchen, right? Or that I know is not harmful to me. And so that's really where the basis of like me doing hair and needing to go to the beauty supply store and the product development came into play, because I knew that like there had to be something that was for, you know, women of color or people of color for us to utilize in order and not compromise our health, right? Not compromise our hair and not compromise our skin.
Yeah, that's amazing. And that's was the other thing I was going to ask about why it was so important to be organic. So, how are you different from the other brands in that respect?
Absolutely. So I'm pretty unique in the sense that like being a beauty supplier means that like I have multiple different products.
Mhm.
Although we have a bunch of different products, literally over 140, we have our hero product, which is our hypoallergenic braiding hair. So one of the ways that we differentiate from the some of the really big conglomerates like the Sensational, like the Free Tress, like the Expressions, is that we really, really focus on launching our braiding hair as hypoallergenic and itch free,
Yeah.
you know, because of the scalp irritations as well as the chemicals that are on the braiding hair and the other hair that, you know, is sold in the market massively and has been
Yeah.
for decades at this point. And
Yep.
so we really pride ourselves in saying that, hey, like not only are we providing products that are organic, but the founder is a target consumer as well too, right? So we really talk about being myself being connected to our community, because the statistics are staggering in the
Yeah.
beauty supply industry, right? And as far as ownership versus
Mhm.
consumption is concerned, you know, we very much so are largely, you know, 80+% of the
Yep.
consumers are Black women, yet we own less than 1%. You
Right.
know, that's staggering. So for me, it was really important to say that, like, hey, not only am I providing a product on all these different platforms that is clean beauty, right? That is organic, that I can tell what the ingredients are, where they're made, et cetera, you know, but I also use them and have proof of life that they actually do work.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And tell you, when I found your business, I was just like a Black woman owning beauty supply. This is it. Like I was so excited because, like, like you said, you go in a beauty supply store, you know what you're gonna find behind the counter. It's not us. Right. So
Yeah.
I was really excited. I was like, yes, there need to be more of these. So I really love what you're doing. And the fact that it's organic is just a bonus on top of it. So that's amazing. Yeah, and I haven't worn braids in a long time, as you can see, but I do remember the itch. I do remember the itch. That's a big thing. Yeah,
Yep.
it makes it so like uncomfortable.
Very much so. And it's supposed to be a protective style and to
Right.
protect your hair, not to harm your hair and your
Right.
scalp. I mean, there's been studies that have shown that like people have, you know, gotten cancer from wearing braids, braiding, using braiding hair that's not cleansed of those chemicals. You
Yeah.
know, alopecia, all
Yeah.
these other different like ailments, just simply because they weren't using braiding hair that was cleansed of all the chemicals and the harsh smells and in
Yeah.
the, you know, itchiness and like all of that. And it's like, no, like that's not what this is made for,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. So what I know you said you have a lot of products. I didn't realize you had so many, but
Yeah.
so what are some of the big ones that you offer?
Yeah, for sure. So like I mentioned, of course, like we're like known worldly for our braiding hair. Our organic edge control is really, really important
Mhm.
and a huge seller for us as well too. Our whipped shea butter is literally my customer's color crack, because once you get hooked, you can't go back. It's just amazing. Like their
Yeah.
raw ingredients are sourced from West Africa. And, you know, I make it with love currently, but I'm looking for a manufacturer to mass produce it right now, because it's just amazing, right? Like it's something for your skin, it's something for your hair, it's
Yeah.
something for your body. Our customers who have children and babies absolutely love it. You know, for so long, I know my mom, she used to swear by baby lotion, but I know baby lotion was not moisturizing me
No.
the way it needed
No.
to.
No.
So to use the shea butter on the babies and for their skin to really be supple and
Yeah.
really just have that feel to it and getting them prepared, because the way that you train your skin, like your skin is a part of you, right? Like you have to train it. Like the way that you train your skin and take care of it is how it will continue to
Yeah.
last you throughout your lifetime. And so super, super important products there. And then for the fellas as well, too, we have our ultimate beard kit, right? So we have a beard oil that's included in there. We have a beard brush, a beard comb, beard balm as well too, to style, and the beard shampoo and conditioner, which is a lot of missed marks. A lot of people just say, oh, I'll use regular hair, shampoo and conditioner. It's facial hair. It's definitely different. You can't just use, the same products to use on your hair that you can't use on your face.
Right.
So super important. And like those products, the beard products actually came about. It's like, that was like my second product, in 2018 that I actually launched, because my brother, he actually, he was trying to grow his beard out and he had a few patches, and he's like, listen, because my first products were make eyelashes. He's like, sis, I can't make eyelashes, but I will need a product that helps to support my beard. And so I said, okay, let me get in the kitchen. Let me get in the lab real quick. Let me figure out, a formula. Started off with one formula. It was like not the greatest, but it was working. And then I continued to do R&D and develop and improve my formula for our beard oil. And like, I perfected it.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is great. That after that product, I had other girlfriends who were like, I don't have a beard, sis. I don't wear lashes, but I'm trying to grow my hair out. And I was like, okay, cool. So then I developed our hair elixir, which I needed as well too, because I had buzz cut my hair and I was short-cut and I was looking to grow it out. And so our hair elixir, the compounds of it is really, the basis is a sunflower oil, which a lot of people don't know about or use. Everybody knows coconut oil, but sunflower oil has the same exact properties that coconut oil does, except for it's not soluble based upon the temperature in the room. Right. So if it's below 75 degrees, it's not going to solidify. Right. And so for the sunflower oil base, I was like, okay, this is actually perfect for us to use. And I absolutely hate the smell of JBOC, right? Jamaican black castor oil. I don't know why. I just can't stand the smell of it.
It's bad. Yeah,
it's bad. But I was like, but it's so good. It has so many great properties. Yeah. So for me, I was like, listen, I got to find a combo of two. And so I developed, the hair elixir based off of like knowing all the properties that the sunflower oil had and the amazing properties that the Jamaican black castor oil had. I said, okay, well, let me figure out some other oils that I can use for this blend to help my hair to grow, not only just grow, but to nourish it and moisturize it. So I use our hair elixir on a daily basis, and our customers absolutely love it.
So I'm hearing a lot of I developed. So are you saying that you're behind all of this stuff?
Not every single thing. No, not every single thing. Our main products that I actually have created formulas for were our whipped shea butter, our beard oil, and our hair elixir. We used to have rice water. We no longer sell rice water, but those three are the main three products that I technically yet have developed the formula for and everything like that. Outside of that, it took me years to, do R&D and research and test, for 6 months and like share some of those samples with loved ones and our tribe and everything like that. Full development, giving feedback back and forth. But the rest of our products are manufactured by different manufacturers that I've sourced and did R&D through.
Right. No, I mean, it's amazing. And the fact that you even developed any of them is amazing. And I feel like it's important for people to hear all of the work that you went through. All of this, you just said you developed these, you made it, you did the R&D for the other manufacturers, you tested, like that's a lot of work because you see the brand and it's like, oh, this is amazing. She's selling all this stuff. And you forget sometimes it's a lot of work and you definitely put in the work. So that's very impressive. So, going along with the business side of it, it must have been difficult. So tell me about a challenge, if you don't mind sharing, that you've had in your business.
Absolutely, several, right? Like, so when I started in 2018, first of all, Google wasn't optimized the way it was. There wasn't a clear space or community of Black-owned beauty suppliers, and they did have their own community, but it was very small and niche, right? And it was really hard to penetrate, right? It's like, who are you again? What are you trying to do? E-commerce website, like what's that, right? And so for me, I'm like, really starting something that really wasn't a thing at all whatsoever, like e-commerce beauty supplies. People were still getting used to Amazon, right? And they're like, okay, well, let me Amazon Prime, that maybe I'll get it in 4 to 5 days or a week, right? Like they're not understanding, the power of e-commerce. And so really even like how to get started, like those days that I stayed up for 72 hours before I applied for and paid for our articles of organization was nothing but me trying to find out who has done this thing before. How can I get in contact with them, or where is some type of like blueprint that I can kind of create? Now, with that being said, going back to college, literally in my junior year, I created a business plan for Dosso Beauty. I called it Dosso Beauty's Organic Empire or something like that, right? Didn't know what the business name was going to be or anything like that. But, you know, I had that project, and I went back and I'm like, let me go through, you know, my books from school and everything like that. Because I was a business administration major. And so I was like, okay, I have this project. This is a foundation that really tells me, you know, like, okay, this is the beginning stages of a somewhat of a business plan, but where are you going to really enter? And so really the biggest part was that, you know, some of the strikes were learning how to even start or where to begin at to become successful, supply chain issues, right? Like understanding like how much product I needed and how much money I actually needed, right? There's times where I skipped out on rent just to buy inventory because my customers needed it. Right. And so I had to make those difficult choices. Being a one woman show for over a year and a half, 2 years of me starting a business was extremely difficult. Right. Because it's my baby. I wanted to cultivate it and keep it close. And I'm like, I know I need people, but like, I got to know who I want to be in this space first before I can bring other team members on. And so now I have a team of like 12, 2 interns, like operations, you know, all these different roles that are super helpful to me to make this big, beautiful thing of Dosso Beauty, like be a working machine, right? But beforehand, being by yourself and not really knowing, you know, what all goes into it, just knowing that you need to get your product out there and that people need to know about it and you need to sell. It was really, really, really difficult. I mean, from the financial standpoint, right? My first year, I only made $5,000. I think I did like 6 pop-up shops. I had my little website, you know, and I was like, okay, we made $5,000. Now I done spent about 30, but you know, we made 5,000. I'm okay with that. You know, I'm okay.
That's a win.
Listen, it's a win. I'm like 10 months in, like $5,000. We already have about 20 products now. I'm putting some on, taking them off. I'm doing product photography. I'm getting friends to model for me. Like, I thought that I was doing pretty decent, right? You know, we in year 2 with $19,000 to $25,000. I was like, oh my gosh, we did 5 times last year. Like, okay,
that's growth.
Like, I was like, growth, right? Like so much growth, and now we have a more clear defined team and like what we want, like Dosso Beauty's ethos and like our brand recognition to be. And to think that I ended 2020 completing $20,000 and then did 370 plus K last year in revenue is mind blowing.
Love it.
That's mind blowing, right? Because I said, okay, cool. We did 20K, but our growth potential, let me do the numbers and really get to the stats. And that's where the consultant in me came in, because I really was like, how can we really look at this business and say, hey, not only are you selling to D2C, direct to consumer, but you need to figure out where the money is so that you can fuel and pay for your inventory. And so that's when I started doing wholesale, right? And wholesale is what really skyrocketed our business, because we now had a product that people knew about. People were providing reviews. We had PR and quite a bit of press already on our business. So we've been vindicated in different publications. Now we need to get it into the hands of mass amounts of people. And so that's where the business really took off. And then we saw the growth potential. We applied for grants. We won Black Ambition Prize last summer. Like it was all up from there.
Yes. I love it. And that takes me into my next question. What has been your biggest win so far? And I have to say, before you answer, I went on your website, and the fact that you have your accomplishments listed for the year, I just love that. I love it. So tell me, what has been your biggest win thus far?
You know, I would say that our biggest win would have to be me fully investing in Dosso Beauty, right? Like, I think a lot of people expect me to say Black Ambition, right? And I think Black Ambition was the perpetuator, and I'm so eternally grateful for not only the funding, but more so the mentoring, right? The mentoring behind that they provided us, the connections that they provided us, it's insurmountable. Like money can't pay for the stuff that they provided us.
Yeah.
But I think that all of those things have really fully propelled me to have even more confidence in my business and where we can really go if I fully invest my time into it. And so investing my time, since September of last year, full time into Dosso Beauty, I'm now 4 months in, and I'm like, I can't believe that I haven't been doing this longer. Like, it's like, what's going on? Like, where have I been all this time? But I like believe in, I believe in a higher power, and I believe that like everything happens for a reason. And so really, like, my biggest win has been investing fully in Dosso Beauty and really truly believing that we are going to be in building the empire that I say that we're going to build, right? And having the backing of Black ambition as a part B of our, of my biggest accomplishment, because really, like, having Pharrell as well as, all of the investors and all of the team members in Black ambition invest in us just really was the spark that I needed to say, hey, like, this is more than a little brand, right? This is more than a little business, right? My little Black owned, no, this is a force to be reckoned with, right? This is the game changer, and it's something that's going to change the world.
I have nothing else to say, but that's it. That's the end. I'm just kidding. No, well, that's great. That's great. Congratulations. I am so, so happy for you. I love seeing people win. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Yeah. So I ask everyone, what does it mean to you? And I feel like you touched on it a bit, but I still want to hear, what does it mean to you to be a Black business owner?
Yeah. That question resonates so deep, because when I look back every single day on like Black entrepreneurship, on this word, Black generational wealth, like even every day it's more attainable, right? Like for me, but in society, right? And what history has taught us is they taught us that Black entrepreneurship has to fail, right? I mean, the staggering like statistic that only 3% of businesses after 3 years succeed is crazy. Like, like to hear that is so negative versus like to speak life and say, I am going to succeed. Right. So like being a Black entrepreneur for me means that it means legacy, right? Like if I touch on the history of the reason I even named Dosso Beauty is because it's my last name, right? My last name is West African, and in Mandingo, my dad's tribal language, like it's also synonymous for Fafana, which means hunter. And I've always been a hunter. My father is a hunter. I come from a family of hunters, literally the last name Hunter, right? Because we are not stopping until we succeed and we see our legacy through. My father and my grandfather, they made sure that, all of our families had what they needed to have beyond their lives that they needed to live, that they instilled all these amazing core skills and values that would, precede them when they left this earth. And so for me, like being an entrepreneur means like legacy. It means visibility as well too, right? Because people need to be able to see to believe, right? Whether you are the younger generation that's seeing, a young Black female entrepreneur succeed beyond our ancestors' wildest dreams, or whether you are someone who might be older than I, right? And you have been always wanting to bet on yourself, but you've always thought that you had to have job security, or you never really thought that you can do it because nobody's done it before, right? I feel like entrepreneurship and being a Black business owner is saying, hey, I'm putting stake in this game for not just myself, but for our community as well too.
Yes. And thank you for doing it. And what you said is so true. It doesn't matter the age. It could be a 60-something-year-old person. You need to be able to see it. You need to be able to know that it is possible so you can manifest. Like it's one thing to believe it. And you were very fortunate that you had the entrepreneur, examples in your family. All people don't have that. Like they're unable to really even imagine and process what that means because you've never seen it before. So yeah, that was beautiful. Thank you. All right. So tell me, what is next for Dosso Beauty?
Yes. So what is next? So many things are coming next. I'm so excited. In February, we're launching an amazing Black History Month campaign. Last year, our campaign was entitled Hair Is, where we had a 4-part series where we talked about what hair means to us individually, from a family perspective, from a generational perspective, and then also from a generational wealth perspective. this year we're really focusing on the evolution of beauty products, right? And of the beauty industry, right? So we're touching on, the ingredients again, right? Because I really want to make sure that people understand that like Dosso Beauty's products are organic and they are made well for us. And so touching on some of the products that we've used in the past and what we were conditioned to use, but that showing other options in the healthier options that we do have now. Also celebrating like iconic braid styles and iconic women, within our legacy and Black women specifically, who really like set themselves up and showed up in the room with their braids and were so iconic for it. And sometimes we're criticized for it, but showed us what Black beauty is and showed TV and film what Black beauty is. Outside of that, we are actually launching on GoPuff, which is a 30-minute delivery service application in 139 different locations. This is crazy to say. I haven't said it out loud too many times. So super excited. So you guys will be able to get your kids' hair care, edge control, edge brushes through GoPuff, the GoPuff platform and app. And I'm looking forward to trying to get into Target, right? Stores, right? Target, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's. We've already put in the application. So right now I just need a yes. So
and it's
I
coming.
really want to get it's exactly. I'm going to keep manifesting it. So I'm really excited and like striving to get into retail locations and big box retail more specifically, because my whole problem, the reason that I started Dosso Beauty is because the lack of access to organic beauty products. And so some people might not have access to e-commerce or the internet or to social media, so on and so forth, but they might have access to their local stores, right? And so really getting into big box retail, but also working really, really hard to get with other Black-owned beauty supply stores, other salons, right? And with other braiders as well too. So those part of the businesses, and again, any way that we can kind of connect our products to the consumer. That's what we're working on this year. So super excited.
Yes, it sounds very excited. Oh, I'm excited for you. Good. Yes, and tell our viewers where they can find you and your products.
Absolutely. So you can find our products at www.dossobeauty.com. We are also located on Amazon Prime. We're also located on Walmart. And as I just mentioned, we will be available on GoPuff as well too. Give us a shout out. You can Google search us. You'll find us everywhere. And if you want us to be in your local beauty supply store, within your local salon, please shoot us an email or go to www.dossobeauty.com. And we have a wholesale page. We will be having a braid corner that will be available on the website as well too, for you to find a braider in your respective cities. So tap in with Dosso Beauty, y'all. Become a part of the Dosso Beauty squad, and let's just change the world with braids.
Yes, I love it. And the last place you can find her is on bydefault.com. She's one of our By Default business tribe, and I am so happy and honored that you are on our directory. And I hope everything that you are hoping for this year will come to fruition. I can see it already. I'm expecting to see you in Target by the end of the year.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. I might have to call the Target head like, hey, listen. We're supposed to be here by now.
Right. All right. Well, thank you so much, Kadidja. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. All right, guys. If that's it, I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.